Good night and welcome to Benalmádena first English news broadcast. Digital Costa del Sol brings you every Friday all the information about this week's news. The theatre at the House of Culture is one of the epicenters of our municipality's cultural life, and after an intense remodelation work that had just come to an end, on Monday we had the opportunity to visit it.
Benalmádena's Mayor, Víctor Navas, Culture Councilwoman Elena Galán and Buildings Councilwoman Marisabel Ruiz visit on Monday the auditorium of Casa de la Cultura, which improvement works have already come to an end. After almost 35 years, it was important to update the technical utilities of this hall to put it back at the forefront of the scenic spaces in the province. After the works, Casa de la Cultura has the latest in sound equipment, lights and air conditioning, resulting in a very comfortable and accessible room, which meets all safety standards for the public in addition to allowing live broadcast. Navas highlight that they respect the Andalusian courtyard style of the space, something demanded by the citizens. We've maximized the investment for renew the air conditioning of the building, paint the interior, provide decent dressing rooms, and create new spaces for multiple purpose. All these changes have been made while respecting the classic physiognomy of the building, vertebrate around an Andalusian courtyard crowned by a glass dome with different colors, with its visual effect highlighted by the new painting. The mayor of the municipality stressed that they would like to open it as soon as possible, but they must be responsible with the situation we live in and ask for patience. We would like to open it as soon as possible, but we are living a pandemic, and in the current conditions, we could only open it with a limited capacity of 50 spectators, which would make it difficult to organize any show because of the cost. We are going to wait until the restrictions relax a little so that, once the vaccination has spread more among the population, we can organize a worthy cultural event for the launch of this new auditorium. For Galán, today was a very special day, and the councilwoman highlighted the importance of this project for her delegations. Today is an important day for this city council and for areas. We have finally received all the work of the House of Culture, and we already have a modern and condition with all equipments and means that requires any category performance. Benalmádena meets an important milestone in cultural matters, with a stage that has all the technical means to accommodate within its capacity any cultural show of an important level.
The municipal government continues to seek measures to help the population to withstand the crisis caused by the coronavirus, and this week Emavesa announced a reduction in the water bill.
Benalmádena's Mayor Víctor Navas and Emavesa's CEO Joaquín Villazón held a press conference last week at the headquarters of the municipal company to announce a reduction in the water bill. We wanted to exempt citizens from paying the improvement fee while the economic crisis continues. Although the water bill in Benalmádena is one of the cheapest on the Costa del Sol, being aware of the current economic crisis situation, we decided to temporarily suspend the collection of this fee. This will mean both in industrial and domestic bills a drop that can reach up to 21% depending on consumption. Highlight the effort that is being made from City Hall, the mayor explained in detail how the bill will be reduced and highlight other measures that are being carried out. It will be a temporary saving, but it will help many families and companies to face the current situation in better conditions, adding to other extraordinary economic measures against the pandemic promoted by this government team, such as incentives to companies and self-employed or implementation of social intervention plans and employment plans. Navas has insisted that once the situation improves, it will be necessary to recover the canon in order to continue making improvements to the network. Once we have left this crisis behind, We will have to continue working and watching other improvement of the sustainability of our network and the protection of the water resource of Benalmádena. This year, 700,000 euros are going to be invested in connecting through a supply ring the water resource of the entire municipality, as well as continuing to work on the renovation of supply networks in various urbanizations. All of it possible thanks to this tax collection in recent years. Villazón, CEO of the municipal company, stressed that they don't know how long the measure will last. In view of the situation that the pandemic has generated, we consider appropriate to postpone these improvement investments for the time being in order to reduce the bill and contribute to helping our neighbors. It's a provisional and temporary reduction, and its duration will depend on how the situation develops and the evolution of the crisis derived from the pandemic. We understand that in the future we will have to continue working on the improvements of our hydraulic infrastructures to minimize water losses and contribute to the conservation of such a valuable resource. With them, there was Pedro del Campo, manager of the company, who valued the usefulness of the canon to carry out improvements in the network and review the benefits that have been achieved thanks to the fee. We want to highlight all the benefits for the municipality that this improvement fee has brought, a tool for undertaking infrastructures without a charge to the public coffers. Among the benefits achieved thanks to this canon are ending an historical flood zone that exists in the municipality during rainy periods, to have a guarantee system that offers water supply to all corners of the city, both from own wells and from the Mancomunidad network, and the renovation of the infrastructures in the worst state of conservation, giving rise to an efficient work, providing the consumer with one of the cheapest rates of the entire Costa del Sol. Emavesa has spent several years making a great effort to renew and improve the water network of the municipality through various works that serve to reduce losses and ensure the supply in the municipality.
New technologies are essential to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of all types of processes, and Benalmádena City Council is making an effort to adapt itself to the new era with the implementation of the electronic administration.
Benalmádena's City Council has drastically reduced the use of paper thanks to the electronic administration implementation. The Mayor Victor Navas and the New Technologies Councilman Sergio Torralbo announced it last week at City Hall during a press conference that served to highlight the improvements in effectiveness and efficiency that this technological leap that the local administration took 2 years ago has brought. The implementation of electronic administration was one of our commitments when we came to the mayor's office. 3 years ago, we started this process to modernize the local administration, and today we already have data that support this change. If in 2019 more than 30,000 electronic files were processed, in 2020 there have already been more than 45,000, an increase of 30% in just 1 year. All of these bring a drastic decrease in printing and the cost of paper and other consumables. If in 2017 more than 2 million documents were printed, in 2020 the figure dropped to 1,200,000 documents. After offering some of the data from this first analysis, Navas has highlighted not only the savings in paper, but also in fuel or money.
Todo ello supone un ahorro importante.
This means significant savings in paper and other consumables, but it also means depending environmentally friendly management, moving towards greater sustainability. The benefits derived from this sustainability are much greater by avoiding unnecessary trips and queues. We also reduce the fuel consumption. The investment of 2 million euros that we made in 2018 to launch the electronic administration is proving to be amortizable much sooner than we thought. For his part, Torralbo highlighted the usefulness of this tool and the savings it represents for the administration, and emphasized that thanks to this technological leap, it has been possible to facilitate the telework of many civil servants.
Desde ese momento se han realizado más de 15.000 notificaciones.
More than 15,000 electronic notifications have been made to citizens and companies, and this has resulted in savings of close to 90,000 euros. We continue working to bring the administration closer to the citizen, increasing the procedures that can be carried out from the virtual taxpayer office. We will also redefine the procedures to improve administrative management with the sole purpose of offering greater facilities to citizens when accessing their procedures in the electronic office. Finally, he invited citizens to use the tool without fear and took the opportunity to remember how you can get the digital certificate. We are planning the implementation of various video tutorials to facilitate neighbors' access to electronic administration, and if there is demand, we do not rule out even offering a specific training for those people who find special difficulty in its management. We encourage citizens to enter the website and try the procedures that the electronic office allows. It is important to have your digital certificate. We remind that they can obtain them in the Citizen Service Office in Arroyo de la Miel and in the Town Hall in Benalmádena Pueblo.
Security Councilman Javier Marín spoke about the collaboration between national and local police force with TEDx to detonate an explosive artifact that was found at one of our beaches.
Benalmádena was rocked by two explosions on Wednesday evening after an U.S. Navy military device was found on a beach in the town. The detonation of the American military device that was discovered by a worker was done in a controlled manner by bomb squad experts from the TEDx branch of the National Police. We spoke yesterday with Security Councilman Javier Marín about the incident and the collaboration between local and national police. Yesterday, the local police collaborated with the national police after the appearance of an explosive device on the beach between the Torrequebrada Casino and the Sunset Beach Hotel, and were providing assistance and ensuring that no one approached the area so that no one was injured. I want to thank the work of the TEDx to be able to safely detonate the device, which we believe to be from the U.S. Navy. The discovery was made at around 2 p.m. on the Torrevieja beach. A worker saw a floating object in the sea that caught his attention, so he removed it from the water and left it on the shore. It was a cylindrical device about 80 centimeters long. He quickly noticed references to the U.S. Navy on the device as well as numbers and codes and immediately called the emergency services on 112, and he reported that he believed it was an explosive device. Local and national police traveled to the scene and verified that it could be an explosive, so TEDx specialists were called in. A first controlled detonation carried out around 7 p.m. A few minutes later, a second was heard. Both were felt in nearby homes, but there was no damage or reports of personal injuries. The National Police has launched an investigation to determine why the military object was found in the sea, and they have contacted the U.S. Embassy. The councilman made a calling to anyone who finds an artifact like this and ensure that the different security forces are prepared to deal with these situations. The explosion of these devices must be controlled by a specialist and with specific safety measures. As we have seen in many movies, they are perfectly equipped to protect themselves from the explosion, and sometimes it is a robot that performs the detonation. And from here, I want to remind anyone who finds one of these devices to contact the security forces, 112 or emergencies. It is very important not to touch the device. We can be calm because we have very well prepared professionals for these situations.
The Spanish government and other countries are pressuring the European Union to create a vaccination passport in order to save this summer season and help the tourism industry.
Speakers urged the European Commission to speed up the introduction of the certificate that would allow the reactivation of non-essential travel. The vaccination passport could include at least 3 general parameters: whether the person has been vaccinated, with identification of the type of vaccine and the number of doses received, details of negative PCR test, if they have not yet had access to the vaccine due to their age group, and immunization subject to the assumption that the person has antibodies after overcoming coronavirus. The goal is to complete the technical and political procedure in the next 3 months so that the certificate can be launched in summer. The European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen guaranteed to European Union members that the legislative proposal will be presented this month. During the meeting, Spanish Tourism Minister Reyes Maroto welcomed the announcement while underlining the need to advance in the adoption of common protocols to avoid prohibitions of movement within the internal market and with third countries, in a clear reference to the United Kingdom, from where more than 18 million visitors traveled to Spain in 2019. Delays in the distribution of vaccines and the need to contain the impact of new mutations of the virus have forced the European Union to maintain restrictions on non-essential movements, despite the fact that the incidence of infections is decreasing in the whole of the European Union. Meanwhile, Spain's Health Ministry, headed by Carolina Darias, reports a probable reinfection case with the Brazilian variant of the coronavirus. So far, 2 isolated cases and 3 outbreaks with this variant have been detected, although for now the department has not said in which region they have occurred. The first of the outbreaks includes 2 positive cases, and the second includes 11 cases, although in none of them a link with Brazil could be found. However, it is in this case where the possible case of reinfection has been detected. The third of the outbreaks is related to a trip to Brazil, and there are 2 affected cases. The department reports that the detection of the British variant in Spain continues to be highly variable among the regions, since in some it represents 4% and in others 64%. However, the department recognizes the rapid increase in its spread in recent weeks. In relation to the South African variant, 50 cases have already been detected, and the ministry report says there is the possibility that it escapes the immune response acquired after natural infection or injection with some vaccines.
And these are today's headlines. Navas and Galan visit the House of Culture Auditorium. Emma Besa announces a reduction in the water bill. Significant savings thanks to the electronic administration. Explosive artifact found and detonated in our beaches. Spain pressures the EU on the vaccination passport. The weather forecast for the weekend will leave us with cloudy or overcast skies with rainfall more intense and frequent in the western half of the province, and maybe locally heavy and persistent in the far west. In the eastern half of the province, rainfall will be occasional and less intense. Temperatures unchanged, winds from the east more intense on the coast. And that's all. Thank you for watching us, and remember, you can stay updated on our website or social media profile on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night and enjoy the weekend.